2003 JL here, and I'm here to maybe start a series, very short series, talking about adaptations. What I'm saying is stuff from other media that's adapted into movies. Now, the reason why I'm starting this is because right now we live in an age where pretty much every other thing we grew up with is being adapted into a feature film. I think it's a sign of the times, that people are running out of ideas. And it's kind of obvious with all the comic book movies running rampant right now, and I just found out that they're making a Smurfs movie. I shit you not, a Smurfs movie. And basically I'm here to discuss it. Now, I'm going to start off with comic book movies. Now, as far as back as I can remember, they've always done comic books and turned them into movies. They've always done it. They've pretty much done it with either Superman or Batman or Captain Marvel. Those were some of the first ones. And really essentially it didn't start off with Blade and Spider-Man recently. It actually started off back in the 70s with the first group of Superman movies that were coming out. And then later on, Batman hit the theaters in 1989, which was right after Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns hit the comic book world and pretty much established Batman as a serious character again, and pretty much was the inspiration that set the tone for the first Batman feature film. Now, there's all the stuff that was going on. Of course, they had the Wonder Woman TV series back in the 70s. I believe they had a Captain Marvel series back then too. Then they had a Flash TV series that didn't last that long. They had a Captain America TV movie that was horrible. And pretty much now it's easier to do comic books into animation. Making it into a feature film, it's trickier. It's there's no guarantee. It's not just because you have a popular character doesn't mean that the movie is going to be great. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin is a perfect example of that. Batman is probably one of the most popular comic book characters of all time, but the movies were terrible. And Ghost Rider, oh my God, how can you mess up with Ghost Rider? And if you're even if you're a diehard comic book head, you know what I'm talking about. And usually it's the least popular characters that get them the most play. The reason why they let Blade become into a movie, one thing, it's not a major character like Spider-Man that has potential to be made into a franchise. I suspect that was just a test run to see if this thing will work. So, let's just give him one of our least known and least popular characters and let's see what happens. And whoop-de-doo, became a hit film. It was like, okay, let's start working on everything else. And next thing you know, X-Men hit the scene, which was made with less money, but made more money. And that was always the problem with X-Men. For some reason, the directors managed to work around the lack of money and make up for it, which was horrible. And Spider-Man did pretty well. It did better than I expected. I'm always skeptical when they ever try to make a comic book and turn it into a movie. Another thing is video games. It's very hard to turn video games into good movies. I don't think they actually made a great movie adapted from a video game ever. I seriously don't think they have yet. Now, they did Super Mario Brothers, and I know that's a bad memory you want to forget. Oh God, the first Mortal Kombat was actually pretty decent. I can sit down and watch that. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, nah, it's going in the garbage. Street Fighter, now that came out in 4th grade, and everybody loves Street Fighter. I still love Street Fighter back then. I gave it the benefit of the doubt. That was around the same time I got the Street Fighter 2, the animated movie VHS for $8, and then I completely forgot about that. That's about it. I mean, if you want to turn a video game into a really good movie, right now they're working on Max Payne, and Mark Wahlberg is supposed to be playing Max Payne, which should be pretty good. And I still don't see why they haven't tried to do Legend of Zelda yet. That's just me. I think it'll make a pretty decent picture. And old TV shows. It needs to stop with this old TV shows. You know. I mean, seriously. They don't need to do old TV shows and make them into movies again, like Star Trek. You know, like seriously, they don't need to leave. They need to leave that shit alone. And they need to leave Star Trek alone. They need Starsky and Hutch. I don't see how they could mess up on that. It was horrible. Now, the reason why I'm ranting and raving about this for nothing, it seems like, is because I've gotten word they're making Dragon Ball Z into movies. If you all might know, they're making the fucking Smurfs into a movie. They're doing G.I. Joe right now. They're planning out Transformers too. You know, that's all nice and good, but what about Thundercats? Where did that go? You know, and why Dragon Ball Z? And another thing too, I've never seen a live action feature that was based on an anime that was actually good. Now I remember the Guyver and Guyver 2, and I think those are still on VHS because I don't think they want to keep that in circulation. And it's hard to do anime into good movies. I just don't see it happening. It's all weird and stuff. Like Black Lagoon would make a good live action film if they do it right. And also they're making Neon Genesis Evangelion into a live action movie. I have nothing to say about that. And pretty much that's it. I'm just ranting and raving. I haven't made a video in a few days. So post comments or whatever. I try to keep it short because I don't have a director's account, so one day I'll get one and I'll make these rants longer, and I might have more pictures and stuff like that. I didn't have a visual aid to go with this, but appreciate y'all stopping by. If you just sitting here listening to me rant and rave about it, because this shit needs to stop. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Peace.